Welcome, Star Wars fans and bounty hunters alike. It is all Fetts are off! Oh man, we are back. It is I, Jason the Tuscan Toast, in beautiful and hot Miami, Florida. And with me as always is Brian, the charismatic Carillion, in hot and humid San Antonio, Texas. Brian, never tell me the odds, and how the hell are you?
Our esteemed Tuscan Toast, your charismatic Carillion, could not be told the odds this past Sunday, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But let me tell you, the odds were thick.
Okay.
I was on an unauthorized, and I stress unauthorized, and there is a viewer out there that knows what I'm saying.
Okay.
Mission on Sunday, and man, that mission was not for the faint of heart. We're talking Save It Prime and Ryan type stuff, man. Just there, if you were going on this mission, you probably knew you weren't coming home, and or rather, you weren't coming home very happy. Is probably the other way to put it.
You know what, Ryan? You are the only one that I know that can attribute Star Wars, right? A fake fantasy world, by the way, that we love, right? With total war, okay? So
to the sands of France.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm sure it was bad. And
it was bad.
And listening,
blood was spilled.
Yeah, and listening to the dramatic after effect of it is going to be interesting. But hey, we're back after we had
we are back and better than ever.
Yeah, we had a 2-week hiatus. So just so everybody knows,
1 week. We had a 1 week.
Well, 1 week. It's been 2 weeks since we've done a show, but it's
okay.
Yeah. So we've been gone 2 weeks. So last weekend, I mean, we all know that Hurricane Laura hit Louisiana and they're recovering now. Well, that same system was threatening South Florida at that time. So I was working, a little late. Well, not 24 hours a day, but I was working that weekend, and also that weekend also I had just started my doctoral program at FIU, Florida International University. So there was orientation on Thursday, class on Friday, class on Saturday. So it was a very long 4 days for me. So I didn't know what was going to happen with the tropical storm at the time. So I asked you, let's please cancel the show. We'll come back strong next week. Sorry. But I just did not have the energy.
So the week was long.
Yeah, it was long. A lot of good people over at the base were working hard and pushing out reports, and South Florida, they prepare for hurricanes. It's a sport to them because that's just how it goes. So it's funny because people handle it differently, but
so hurricanes hit South Florida.
Oh yeah, I mean so much so that they named one of my alma maters after it. It's a hurricane.
I had no idea.
Yeah, isn't it so weird though? My dad, went to Notre Dame, and I went to the University of Miami, for my master's. So it's
oh boy,
I got a Catholic dad and a convict son, and it just kind of seems fitting for the Tuscan Toast to be.
Isn't the whole Catholics versus convicts a little unfair?
Well, unfair to who?
I mean, really, the only reason the University of Miami drew that moniker was because they all went out there and acted the fool on the field. That's really the only reason that they drew that. I mean, let's face it. The only reason they did act the fool was because they could back it up.
Well,
they were flipping good. I mean, I never understood why so many people were like, "Oh, look at that out there. Look at them out. Look at all those Miami Hurricanes out there showing off to everybody." Well, showing off. They're showing off because they just beat you down.
Well, they do the same. They do the same thing now, but they have this thing called a turnover chain. It's this big golden chain with a U on it, and whenever they, either get a fumble or an interception or some sort of defensive turnover, that player gets to wear the turnover chain. They didn't wear it much last year because they sucked. But
I mean, I saw the 30 for 30 on it, and I'm just
Oh, on the T-shirts, the whole. It was a T-shirt.
I get that they're out there showing off, and
Yeah,
it's pissing some people off. But you know what? If you don't want them showing off, then play better.
but I mean, what was better than that 1988 season for Notre Dame? What was better than how they went and became number one? They started the season number 13 or 14, I believe, in that season, and then they went on and they beat the University of Miami kind of early in the season, and then they just kept winning and winning. They won in the Fiesta Bowl, right, against West Virginia, I think. I think that's what it is.
And this is when national titles in college football were really earned because there was no 14 playoff. I mean, you either went undefeated and finished number one, or you were at your peril. Other than that,
Right. Well, and it's not just that. It was so incredibly difficult for any team to go undefeated that year. So whoever went undefeated was the national champion because there was really only one team. Well, now you are getting these group of college football teams that are very good and could very well go undefeated. Things are changing now. I mean, now you have the 14 playoff, and now teams are starting to play just within their conference. So you're going to see all sorts of just
so
strange
it's going to be dramatically different this year. Yes.
Yeah, it is. If it indeed happens, which it most likely will not. I mean,
No. The SEC, the ACC, the Big 12 are all going to play.
okay. Well, they're gonna. Okay, so they're gonna play.
Even the only conferences out of play, or the only conference rather.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really going to throw in the Ivy League because the Ivy League never competes for the.
No,
I think they have a title of their own. So, the Big Ten is the only conference right now.
Big Ten.
They're the only conference that factors into the college playoff that's not going to play ball. Everyone else is going to play ball.
So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season.
They've already announced that they're going to delay the rankings for the college playoff.
Uh-huh.
The rankings will be closer to almost December, versus when they're close to Thanksgiving. So
well, it doesn't really matter for a team at that point. I mean, your schedule is set. Your college football schedule is set. Just go out there and win. Just win. You can't do anything about the pollsters. Just go and win, or the committee rather now. Just go win. Just go play football. Who cares? I don't think you should even have rankings until the very end of the season, because then it's just like, hey, you're just going out there, you're playing football, and you're just crossing your fingers that the committee thinks you're good enough. It makes it more exciting for everybody. Yes, I know, but I don't like the whole idea of how they rank it and everything. So
there's a big moment coming up for Disney Plus in a few days.
Oh, is it that $29.99 premium?
Mm-hmm. In 5 days, they're going to experiment with their premium service.
Ah, man, that's going to be for Mulan.
I'm here. I've been looking at the forums online, and it really. I'm surprised. I would have thought it would have been more overwhelmingly negative, but really, there's a ton of positive too. There's a lot of people that are going to do this, that are going to throw the 30 at it. We talked about this a couple of shows ago. My perspective is, if you basically what I'm looking at is, if you're going to charge me $30 for a movie, which is what it would be on shelf for a combo, then it better not be a rental where it's only as long as I have the streaming service. You better give me a digital copy code where I own it.
Yeah,
that's still my issue with it. Now, I don't know if you saw what they did with Bill and Ted.
Well, guess what? I paid for it.
Mulan or Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted.
So which one did you do? Did you do the Vudu or did you do Prime?
No, YouTube. I bought it on YouTube.
Oh, she did YouTube.
Right,
okay.
Because here's what happens. Even if I decide not to have YouTube Premium anymore, as long as I still have a YouTube account, I will have it. So I was fine.
Very nice.
Yeah,
that makes a ton of sense.
Right, and not only that, but I support it, right? Because I'm a huge fan of the series. Loved the movies when I was a kid. And it's, I mean, okay, I'll pay for that, right? I'll pay $25. I could have easily pirated it. Of course I could, but I support it. I was looking forward to the movie. I'm a Keanu Reeves fan. So yes, I paid it to keep it.
Now
So.
the offer that I'm looking at doing, and I'm hoping it's still available,
Mm-hmm.
is I was looking at the Voodoo offer because
Oh, what
I
are they
thought
giving you a digital copy?
you're getting a digital copy to own, but not only that, they're bundling with Bill and Ted 1 and 2. So
Oh,
that
that's cool.
it's interesting. It really is interesting what they did. So
Mm-hmm.
and I think Disney Plus should take some notes. I'm just going to throw that out because I really like what Voodoo did here. You had 3 options with Voodoo.
Mm.
You could rent it short term, which I believe it was a 3-day, $6.99 rent. I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah.
So there was that option.
Right.
Then there was the option to buy.
Right.
So you could buy it
Uh huh.
at 25,
Okay.
and you could own it.
Uh huh.
But then this is where it gets really attractive. So they said, well, if you're already considering buying, we're going to give you a third option, and we're going to bundle all 3, Bill and Ted 1, 2, and then Face the Music, and we'll throw in all 3 of them for 35, just $10 more.
Okay, that sounds like. I mean, it's a
That,
deal.
that,
I mean,
that's a deal because basically you're getting them at 15 apiece.
yeah. I mean, that's a deal. I mean, and you can take it with you wherever you go. That's kind of the other reason I like it because I have YouTube on my computer, my phone. I can watch it anywhere. If I want to see that movie, or show it to somebody, I can always do it that way. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. But $30 premium service for an unproven movie, I just don't know. The whole live action thing for Disney has not been panning so well, mind you.
Maybe they can look at the model that Voodoo used here. That might be something that, I mean, when you consider that they're doing that bundle on 35, maybe that's something that Disney should have considered.
Well,
Like,
maybe they will once they see not everybody pays for it.
If we're gonna do $30, then we'll kick you a digital copy code for animated Mulan. Something they should have thrown in something for $30. That's the main gist here, really.
I don't know. I think it's a gimmick. I don't think it's going to last long.
God, what the Misa saying?
Sorry, I just had to do that.
Ah, go figure.
Yeah.
I had to come in at some point.
But anyways, okay. So we're back. We're going to do an hour show. There's been some interesting happenings in the Nerdverse. Bill and Ted Bill and Ted came out, which is I saw and I was happy with it. I thought it was funny. I had a really good time watching it. It was great fan service, great nostalgia, still funny. Those guys are still hilarious.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I'm hoping for that same magic from the first 2.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed. You won't. You really won't be disappointed. Chadwick Boseman unfortunately passed this week.
That was sad news. That was sad news to hear.
Wakanda forever. It was very sad news, especially because it just happened and nobody really knew what was going on. He did such a very good job hiding his colorectal cancer. But my heart goes out to his family, all his fans. I think he was a fantastic actor. I loved him in the Jackie Robinson biopic, and as King T'Challa in Black Panther. So it was a great movie. Marvel Cinematic Universe lost a great talent. So there's that. So some sad news, in the Nerdverse. So, but
what this means for Black Panther 2 and other stuff going forward for Phase 4, they definitely have their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
because I don't know how you replace him. I don't think you can replace him.
No, I don't think you do. I mean,
no, I don't think you do. So
I mean, unless you give it to what was his sister's name in the movie? Suri, yeah, right.
So like maybe they do like a female Black Panther then,
right.
Like with her taking over,
because
taking the mantle.
Yeah, because she did very well, and then and then you can explain that he passed and everything like that, because that's just kind of how the mantle of the Black Panther got passed on, anyways. Was the king dies, queen dies. Well, there was no queen, not that I know of, but the king dies, and then the heir takes over. So yeah, it's. I mean, I really don't know. I know that they had delayed Black Panther 2 well before coronavirus, so maybe it was due to Chadwick Boseman's health already that they knew about. There were some Instagram posts where he looked very thin, and that caused a lot of speculation. I think he had erased some of those things because people were, talking, and he wanted to keep it private. So, very, very sad. A very good talent, and he's gonna be missed in the nerdverse.
Very much.
But
very true.
But onto other things. We have something that angers both of us that we want to talk about. We need to feed.
Before we jump into our first topic, I do want to thank our sponsor with Bad Customs and Brianna. You guys remember to check for the links that we have that are embedded in our page, and take a look at Bad Customs for your little keepsake needs and tumbler needs. She's got a very good group put together and good page. So shout out to Bad Customs as we start to kick things off.
Yep, and it's always a great gift because
it works every time.
Oh yeah, it works every time.
But am I angry? Oh man, it doesn't even. The word angry doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of. Again, this mission was. This mission had not only myself but a bunch of collectors fit to be tied. And it seems that my co-host is having some minor issues here.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, we got him.
My Echo, my Amazon Echo was, I don't know what it was doing. It was going
yelling
on.
at you?
No, it was I don't know. It was summoning the devil or something. It was like, it's like the Exorcist in here, Mike. You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
My God.
Which probably means no one else out there heard it.
Jeez.
Well, if there is anyone else out there. But.
God, summoning demons into my house. All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So maybe a lot of folks don't know, which it wouldn't surprise me if indeed a lot of folks don't know, because there was a Force Friday, May the 4th level type launch for Disney and Disney Store Target this past Sunday, yesterday.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an entire array of product specifically for this launch, and it was all geared to Galaxy's Edge. So that was the big deal, that they were going to bring Galaxy's Edge collectibles into Disney Store Targets and Disney.com and some Disney stores. And they were all going and they were all going to hit retail yesterday. Now, Target did not blitz this. They did not place it in their ads. So if you got the paper ad, you knew nothing. Mm-hmm. The only way you knew this was coming is if you watched a Hasbro Pulse Facebook Live that was about 3 weeks before. How many people are even aware there's a Hasbro Pulse Facebook page? So you can start with that.
Everything has a Facebook page, dude. I mean,
other than the hardcore collectors, who's going to be looking for the Hasbro Pulse Facebook page? Mm-hmm. So you can start with that. Mm-hmm. Then, if you were fortunate enough to have seen that, then you kind of had the heads up on it. Then about a few days before, Target threw it into their app at the very, there was a widget all the way to the bottom. You scrolled clear down to the bottom. It talked about the Galaxy's Edge product, and it showed the items.
Yeah. It
did also list that the product was going to be available for online ordering at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Central? Eastern?
2 a.m. Central.
Okay.
So, needless to say, every Black Series collector out there, everybody logged on at 2 a.m. furiously ordering items. Mm-hmm. And within the first minutes of logging on, it already listed that everything was out of stock. So there was that little glitch you had to work through. Then about 15 minutes later, one item or so or another item, quickly it would go from gray to red that it was available for pickup or drive-up pickup, and you're there furiously trying to click buttons and get your order in as quick as you can. There was that whole experience. After you went through that headache, if you still wanted to go to stores in the morning, you were treated, unless you were there unless you were there between 6 and 6:30, you got treated to a line of about 50 people by the time it was 7:30.
Mm.
Which, at that point, only the first 15 people probably at the front are going to have a chance. After that, the display was just picked clean. You saw pictures posted everywhere of just empty PDQs, empty pegs, one or two Millennium Falcons from the vintage collection, which was a $400 item. That was at the very bottom of the display. That's about all that was left. With, of course, Target not setting any limits as to what you could get, so people walking out of there with stacks of one character, which they intend to flip, which incidentally, they're already being flipped. A Captain Cardinal on eBay right now is going for over $150, and a Hondo is going for almost $200. Items that were $25 on shelf.
So, for those that are uninitiated, what is a PDQ?
A PDQ is a four-sided display.
Oh.
And it's got like all kinds of fluff on it, like signage.
Okay. All right. Okay. Understood. Okay. So here's my beef with this, because here it is. It's 2020, right? The worst year ever. But we're still in the future. This is still the future, you know? And we still haven't figured this out for fans. We haven't figured out how to distribute these collectibles properly, right? Or I don't think that they have properly estimated the demand for these things and making a certain amount. Now, I understand that's why they're collectibles, because people can collect them and they're going to be rare. But what does that really do for the bottom line of the manufacturer? Does it generate interest? Well, yeah, to a certain point, it really does. But are you just selling these things to generate interest in the larger medium? Or are you doing it just to generate buzz and internet interest? It may be so they have really no economical interest or financial interest to increase their supply of these products. So why don't you make it in a way that several of these places have already done, right? So whenever a new iPhone comes out, I know all you iNerds go out there and you stand in line of an Apple store and you stand there all smug with your Starbucks coffee and your sweaters at 90-degree weather, with your little poodle dogs and skinny jeans.
Oh my gosh!
And you wait out there for the next
on.
iPhone 23 or whatever they're.
Let's not even get into what the Android people do. Let's not even do that, right?
I'm about to talk about it, but this is what happens. So, you know me, I'm an Android guy. I'm a Galaxy guy. This is the Galaxy Note 20, right? I get the Note every year. It's my thing. It's just what I do, all right? So when Galaxy has their Unpacked event, right, they announce that they're, after several leaks that the product is coming out, and then about a week or 2 weeks later, it will actually ship. So you can reserve, right, your pre-order, if that makes sense. You can reserve your pre-order, and they give you an incentive, $200 to spend on accessories and stuff, which is cool, which is good. I mean, it's still like a drop in the hat, but still, it's cool. So you reserve, you just put your email in there, and that's it. You get an email when you can pre-order the product, right? And there you go. So, and then they space it out. Like if you woke up at midnight, like I did, went on and just had my alarm, went on my Samsung Shop app on my Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and then hit the buy button, I was good. I was supposed to get it on the 21st, but I got it on the 19th, which is awesome. So they're doing it right, because depending on the demand for these products, right, they will either say, well, you're going to get it this date or you're going to get it that date, right? So they can gauge how much they need to produce these products. So you could completely corner the market, not have this Target, Disney store, whatever, do everything online, have it either like shipped to the store or I don't know, something like that, or have it shipped to the house.
And the thing is, pre-orders make a ton of sense, which
Sure.
actually they did pre-orders. But
Okay.
here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew about the pre-orders until some days later, and when you finally heard about the pre-order and took a look at it, guess what? All the pre-orders were already out.
Well,
So
why don't you have a Google alert or something? Why don't they alert fans or subscribers?
Going back to what you were saying with that email alert on the Note 20, that's what they should be doing with these, is sending emails out, especially for the dedicated ones. Sending emails out when you can pre-order so that everybody has a chance, because really the scalpers / vendors, as we call them, they are literally making a killing off the flipping of this stuff, and it's just not right.
So let me ask you this. As a collector Star Wars fan, how much would you be willing to pay for a subscription service to allow you priority access to these items online? If you go onto like Hasbro Plus, I think is what we talked about, right? Would you pay a subscription, monthly subscription, right? And it gave you head of the line access, or not just that, it guaranteed you, if you pre-ordered these particular products, it guaranteed you one on day one if you pre-ordered it. It doesn't just say. It doesn't just say. It doesn't just say.
Subscribe in a heartbeat. Yep.
Okay. How much would you be willing to pay to pay monthly for that?
I'd drop $60 a year.
Really? Okay. I would see myself dropping $60 a year on something that interests me like that. Not those collectibles. That's your thing. I don't know what I would do. But that's worth it to you. It really is. Everything is subscription for a service now, right? So everyone is going towards this subscription-based model. You know, even Microsoft Office is going this way. An essential tool for you to use on your computer, a simple word processor, and they want you to pay a monthly subscription for it.
Now the question becomes, how does this subscription service get around exclusivity?
It doesn't, right? Because you have to be willing to, because whoever's willing to stand outside of a Target and wait to buy these products is also willing to spend $60 a year on a subscription service to give you, I beg your pardon, priority access to these products before anyone else.
I'd want to be paying the subscription service if I knew that it was getting me availability also to the exclusives, like what's exclusive to Target or what's exclusive.
Yeah, you would have to get that because you were paying. Well, now you're paying premium.
Well, so then again, my question is, how does it provide that if the item
still ships it? It's a Hasbro. It's a Hasbro toy. But here's the thing: it's a Hasbro toy. Hey, you get access to this. Maybe it's not $60 a year. Maybe it's $100. But look at everything that you get. Anything that only Target would get, you will get this because you're paying a premium. You're paying a premium for access. It's not saying because you pay $100 a year, we're going to ship you these products automatically, or it's going to go into your cart. No, you still have to go on there and you still have to reserve it at the same time as everyone else that is also paying that service. But you're guaranteed it. Maybe you're not guaranteed it on day one, but maybe you are guaranteed that product because it does a couple things from a business standpoint. It will tell, right, Hasbro, wow, we have generated this much interest in X amount of product. We're going to order this much, right? And whatever we don't order, we're going to throw out to the stores. So maybe the casual Star Wars fan like myself will see it like, oh, cool, I'll buy that, which I won't, right? But that would be, you know, but that would be it.
I think you're onto something with this.
Yeah, I mean, but also think about it. Think about the revenue that you're getting as Hasbro. You're getting $100 a year from Super Nerd, right? Just to give them the ability to pay for your more Super Nerd stuff. Think about it. It's brilliant. It's
genius.
Genius. And they haven't done this. But here's the thing also. They have to provide this, right? Because the minute that somebody doesn't get a product and they're paying for this service and they did exactly what they were supposed to do, they reserved it, they prepaid for it, I'm supposed to get it. Maybe not on day one, but I'm supposed to get it between this time frame and this time frame, and then you sent me an email, oops, we're out. No, you lost everything. You lost all legitimacy. You lost it. You have to be perfect. You have to have enough, right? Now, if you run out and then someone goes in there and tries to reserve it, hey, there's no more, right? You still lose legitimacy because someone is paying a premium to have access to that. Now, maybe just keep your reservation window open for X amount of time, for 3 days, 4 days, whatever. They can go on there, they can reserve it. Okay, wow, we had 10,000 reservations on this thing, right? That's a big number. But we just had 10,000 reservations for this thing. Well, we know for a fact that we are going to have to produce this much, right? We know. Let's bump it up another 5 and then toss it out to the retail stores. It makes sense because it helps. It helps you predict all of your product, and you won't sit on it. You won't sit on this stuff, for how long, whatever. And then let's just say you don't generate any buzz on this thing on your Hasbro Plus, but you have to push this service. You have to push it, and you have to push it to the right people. They have to push it to you, right? If I see an ad on YouTube, just because I have a Star Wars show, doesn't mean I'm going to pay you $100 just so I can have access to pay for more stuff. No, that's not me, right? I watch the movies and I make fun of everything, and I do stuff like this.
God, what the Misa saying?
And I bust out Buff Yoda.
Enough with the Jar Jar stuff, seriously.
No.
So, I mean, at the very least, what I don't understand is why the store leadership will not get involved, though. I mean,
what incentive do they have? I mean, what are they going to say?
No,
you can't buy it.
But hang on. I mean, at some point, even if they don't have an incentive, at some point, you have a responsibility to look out for your consumers as leading that store. That's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. They could take the option to set limits on this stuff, and they will not do it.
They're not going to set limits. No, why? Because why? It's not water. It's not toilet paper. There's no reason for them to set limits on these things. They don't care. Super Nerd number 1 wants to buy 6 of them. Super Nerd number 2 wants to buy 30 of them. So what? I don't care.
Well,
sell it.
The thing is I've been at launches where Disney Store has set limits on the hot stuff. Like you can only get X number of said pin. You can only get set X number of said exclusive. That way, someone isn't up there buying 8 of them, 10 of them to flip.
I guess.
So they won't even do that. At the very least, there should be a limit. At the very least, just it's pretty clear what's going on. It's pretty clear.
Maybe not to them. Maybe
come on.
Maybe it's not clear to them what's going on. Because they don't know. They just get this product and be like, oh, another Star Wars thing. Here it is. Right? And then all of a sudden, a bunch of Star Wars fans bust through. Do you have this? Blah, 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 blah. What? Is that it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Here, take them. They may not know. But, I mean, it's a lot of product to have knowledge on, especially at a Target. So, I mean, I think I like my idea because I think it's a good revenue generator.
I think a subscription service to provide availability advantage is a heck of an idea.
Yes, priority access to the collectibles. Priority access. They could make a ton of money doing this. Right?
Sure could.
And if they take this idea from me, fine. Take it. Just do it, right? Because you're going to get it. You're going to generate revenue, right? Remember me if I ever apply to go work for Hasbro, but just remember the name Jason, right? If I ever come in there. But it's something that you should do, right? Because does Hasbro have the exclusivity on Star Wars collectibles? Or do they share that with somebody else?
No, they're the main distributor.
Okay, so Hasbro's making them all, right?
I mean, you have Pops. Pops also makes Star Wars characters.
What the hell's Pops?
You don't know what Pops are? Wow, really?
Oh, the Funko Pops?
Yeah, Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah, I am so not interested in those things. Those are the stupidest things ever. They are so ridiculous. What the hell is that even? Right? I mean,
I'm telling you, you have no clue how hot this stuff is.
This is like those Beanie Babies things. It's just as ridiculous.
They are scorching hot right now.
This does not interest me at all. In fact, I'm getting very bored of it. Whatever. Anyways, teach their own, I suppose. But I guess, I mean, even if you do it for those Funko Pops that people want, I mean, do something. I mean, you have a hot product, capitalize on it. You know, capitalize on it and give people what they want. See who's really willing to buy your crap. Who is really willing to do that? Now, Xbox is doing that right now too with Xbox Game Pass. You know, they're trying to get away from, you know, the Xbox Live, and they're going to try to give that away for free, and they want people to get onto Xbox Game Pass. But
Microsoft's plan is to kill the console.
Yeah, well,
they're out to eradicate console gaming. You can tell with what they're doing.
Right, they want gaming on every device.
That's
what they want.
This could very well be the final console if they're successful with their plan.
I would think so, because everything is so powerful these days. I mean,
Yep.
I could play Fortnite on this phone easily, just as I could on my Nintendo Switch. So all the devices that are coming out right now that people are already paying a premium for, you can probably put the same game there. Now, I think that there's always going to be a market for PC gaming. There will always be a market for PC gaming.
True.
And,
yeah.
If you go the Xbox route and people start having these, because I mean, there's still the technological piece to it where you will have these real life graphics, but can only be done by certain hardware. Not all hardware can push this stuff out. And I think there's going to always be the market for console games, and you can have realism as much as you want, or as much as your card can handle on that. But yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate statement that Microsoft is out to definitely kill the actual console. They want a gaming service, right? Xbox Game Pass, but you only have access to certain games. So I'm not cool with that. If you give me access to your entire library, yes.
That was not my understanding from the recent presentation.
Yeah, it's not the whole thing. It's just
no.
certain games.
From the recent presentation, it seemed to me that when Xbox One X, which is the next gen stuff, when that stuff launches, it's going to be available on cloud day one.
Everything, the whole library.
Yeah. Well,
no. See,
now you're back cataloging to other stuff. I mean, going forward, I would say yes. Going forward, I mean, and then the other stuff you would just have to buy and download. But they are saying that the next gen stuff will be available day one. You won't have to wait, and you can purchase it and download it from cloud.
Well, I mean, if it's there and if it's already paid for, then okay. But as of right now, this is what it says on Microsoft's website. Get access to over 100 high-quality games with new titles added all the time. Play directly on your console, PC, and coming soon.
Well, that's the key thing with new titles added all the time. So the new release stuff, though, for sure, is going to be available when it launches.
So you're paying $14.99 a month. Oh, but this comes with Xbox Live Gold, and you're already paying $10 a month. So you're adding another $5.
Yeah,
and you're getting this Xbox Live Game Pass. This is the ultimate. If you want it just on your PC, it's $5 a month, and if you want it on your console, it's $10. I don't know. I'm not seeing enough to make me interested. I'm not. This doesn't tell me enough. Access to over 100, just so I can play it on my phone too.
Imagine that though. That's going to make Nintendo Switch people nervous.
Well, yeah, it will.
Because Nintendo has owned portability since the first Game Boy, and no one's been able to touch them.
No.
There have been so many devices.
Not even the superior Game Gear, which was in color. It couldn't beat it.
Not only the Game Gear, but the Atari Jaguar was also in color.
Right, and Atari Lynx. It was the Lynx.
Yeah. Oh, it was the Lynx?
Yeah, okay. the Atari Lynx.
So you had that, and you also had the PlayStation Vitas and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff with higher end hardware, and those couldn't even take the Game Boy down.
Right, that's true. But you know what?
This could be the first thing that puts them in trouble.
Well, it could put them in trouble. But here's the thing: for young kids, there's always going to be the market for these portable
No, that's true.
games.
The kids aren't going to care because all they care about is their Smash Brothers and all that stuff.
Exactly, because they don't have, a lot of them don't have phones yet. Really, are you going to buy you're going to buy your 5-year-old kid a $1,000 phone?
No, true.
You're
going
to buy him. You're going to buy him a $200 Switch.
You're going to buy him a Switch.
Yeah, you're going to buy him a Switch instead. You know that all they can do is play video games on. They can't surf the web and look at crap that you don't want them to look at. It's safe, you know. So there's always Nintendo's going to have that. As long as they keep pumping out products like this, they're always going to have that.
Well, we got 20 minutes to go, so I want to get into the other stuff.
Oh yeah. So we talked. Yeah, we spent a lot of time in Collector's Corner.
We killed on Collector's Corner, but now it appears it looks as if Daisy Ridley's making some noise out there that she's getting a little flustered that she can't get a role as of late.
It's typecasting.
And this is the risk reward stuff you get with Star Wars. I mean, let's be realistic. Aside from doing voiceover for the Joker, which Mark Hamill made a killing at doing.
He's still doing it.
Aside from that and his con appearances, I mean, his other roles have really been at a sci-fi B level, is what his other roles have been at. Right. He has not had any major motion picture roles other than that. And that is due to the whole, you don't see him as anyone else other than Luke Skywalker. So, I find it a little tough to believe that Daisy Ridley didn't have some knowledge that you do run the risk of identifying yourself only to Rey from 7, 8, and 9, and then you're out there trying to get work in other films, and it becomes harder because at that point you're trying to demonstrate that you can give inflection to other characters other than Rey, and some directors and producers may look at her audition and that's all they're seeing is Jedi Rey, and they're just not sold. And I mean, Hayden Christensen did do some other stuff. The one movie that I do remember that he did outside of Star Wars that I thought he actually performed very well in was Shattered Glass. But after Shattered Glass, it gets pretty thin with him. Now, then of course you have the opposite end of the spectrum. You have the actors that have already been established that went into Star Wars, and they didn't have to worry about typecasting because they were established in acting roles prior. You know, those are people like Alec Guinness and Billy D. Williams and Harrison Ford.
Oh, and Peter Cushing. Don't forget about Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Peter Cushing.
Yeah.
People like this they're going to get a job anywhere because their name's already out there. So, I mean, maybe Harrison Ford not so much. Because really, I mean, yes, he was out there before Star Wars, but that was because of American Graffiti. And that was because of a 30-second clip of him in a truck flirting with the girls next to him. But and
then he was like a waiter or something like that before that. Right. Yeah.
It was after he sprung Indiana Jones that it really hit.
Yeah.
But again, once that happened, he didn't fall into the typecasting curse. I mean, as soon as Indiana Jones was done, he was able to go out and get anything he needed.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Daisy Ridley is that she didn't show. I mean, I see the potential for range in her. But too. Yeah, but it's hard to bring that out in a Star Wars movie. So she's gonna have to do some like romantic comedies, to kind of demonstrate that she can be both dramatic and funny, and then she can get more probably serious dramatic roles because she could be an action. She could be an action star. Yeah, she could be an action star. She could be an action movie star because in Rise of Skywalker she got a little bit more ripped. She got a little bit more buffed, and I mean she could. I mean, plus think of the situation that's going on right now. I mean, Hollywood is kind of working on a skeleton crew right now.
No one's exactly filming.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of it. No film studios exactly out there thinking, well, let's get the next dozen or so in production right now. No one's doing that.
Yeah.
No one's doing.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
so there's that too, but maybe she's
that's a big factor. Yep.
maybe she is getting some offers, but she's not interested in them. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she wants to do. I don't know what her interest is,
True.
but I mean, I don't know. She'll get something, but if she really is having trouble, she's gonna have to take some scripts of some romantic comedy crap. That's just it. I mean,
A type role that I think that she'd do well in. Something similar to. Oh gosh, it's escaping me right now. I don't know why. Something similar to what Jodie Foster did with her detective character in Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. You're talking about?
Yeah, when Jodie Foster played the detective in Silence of the Lambs.
She played Clarice Starling. Yeah.
Clarice Starling. I could definitely see Daisy in a role like that. I could see her making that.
I could do
she's
that.
She's got the facial expressions for it.
Yeah, the pissed off dramatic look. Yeah, she's got that.
She could totally pull that off.
Yeah.
And we just had somebody sign on. I believe it is our esteemed Tech Utah that has joined us.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. But from now on, you do as I tell you. Okay?
Okay. I love that. That never gets old.
We are spinning on Daisy Ridley's frustrations and getting other Hollywood work right now. She's been putting out there on social media that she's having a little bit of a challenge going outside of the Ray box. But again, our co-host with Tuscan has pointed out the COVID-19 issues, which is that's a definite factor. I'm surprised I didn't think of it, but
yeah. It is a factor. I mean, no one's banging on anyone's doors to get out there and act right now. I mean, you can't get anybody in a crowd, and there's only so much that you can do virtually. I mean, they did the Video Music Awards virtually, and I didn't even know they made music videos anymore. Is that's still a thing?
I didn't know that music videos were a thing anymore.
Apparently, they're still a thing.
I don't even know how they have the nerve to call it MTV anymore.
Well, it's just MTV. The M doesn't stand for music anymore. That.
No, well then stop calling it MTV, man.
Call it Jersey Shore TV. I love that show. I love that show. Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore.
I love it. Yes, it's my guilty pleasure. I love that crap. I love that crap so much. It's so hilarious. These guys, I'm telling you, just the things that they do, the antics that they pull. I mean, when they were going out and clubbing and doing nothing but partying and bringing girls home, so funny. Such a garbage show because it's, it's reality television, but it's absurd, and that's why I love it. The pure absurdity of it.
I would judge, but I can't, and I'm not going to say why I can't. So.
Oh, because you were on a reality TV show. Yeah.
No, that's not why.
That.
But I'm just gonna. I can't judge. I won't judge. There's a reason why I can't judge, which will not be revealed. But yeah, I can't judge. I can't. As much as I want to.
Well,
much as I want to, but
I'm not judging. I'm praising the show because I like it. So a lot of these guys are like my age. They're 39. They're 40 already. I was like, God, this thing was out years ago. They were still in their 20s. I mean, this is an old show. Not all of it's in HD anymore. I mean, it's like in standard definition, and that's how old this show is. But it's funny crap. I like it. Anyways, we went off. We really went off in the left field.
Yeah, we went off the rails.
What's this other thing that we're talking about? Clone armor.
So.
I know what you're talking about.
There's been all the chatter that Hayden Christensen's going to be popping up in the Obi series coming to Disney Plus, the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
There's been some more chatter on that series coming forward. The first piece of chatter is Disney Plus has made it official. The series has been officially tagged that it will be limited.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that even mean?
What that tells me is that there may be no season 2. This might be a one and done.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that kind.
I'm totally fine with that.
I'm
totally fine with.
I like it where it's like, okay, you know what? We're gonna have a finite amount of episodes, and that's it.
Right.
Like they did with Sherlock. Like they did with Sherlock on Netflix. Yeah. Bada bing, perfect.
I think that just adds to the anticipation of it because you realize that the finale will be the finale. There will be no going forward into the next fall. This is going to be it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it immediately adds to the hype and excitement that's already there.
Yes.
So in addition to announcing that it will be limited, they've also stated that, well, the chatter that's been stated is that Hayden, as he's reprising Anakin Skywalker, will be donning the clone armor, which I think is very cool.
I think I saw the article that you read that on. I didn't read it, but I saw the photo, the concept photo, and I
mean,
cool.
if you're familiar with the Clone Wars series that's been on Disney Plus and has been on Cartoon Network before,
never heard of it. No idea what you're talking about.
No,
nothing.
Huh?
No, I have no clue.
That doesn't ring a bell of any kind. Doesn't resonate.
No,
okay.
no neurons firing on that one.
How many neurons do you have up there exactly?
Yes.
So, if you've watched the stuff, you've seen that the Jedi in the episodes, they put on Stormtrooper clone type armor when they're out in combat with the clones. Mm-hmm. They're wearing the same, coupled with their Jedi robes. Right. So it's Ahsoka didn't do it, but Obi-Wan did it in several combat arenas, and Anakin also did it, and it's going to be cool to see it in live action. So I have to think that when they're saying this, it seems that flashbacks in this Kenobi series are definitely going to weigh in.
Hello there.
That's right. Master Kenobi himself. So it appears that, flashbacks will weigh heavily. And, how many are they going to do? I don't know.
Maybe they do it like how they do in Cobra Kai. Have you been watching Cobra Kai?
Oh, I saw Cobra Kai when it was on YouTube TV.
Okay, yeah. So did
I. I finished the first 2 seasons way back. Yeah. But that series is beyond awesome.
Yeah, it is. And they do the flashbacks perfectly. It's not overdone. Perfectly. It's super relevant.
It's like relevant, and it's embedded into the episode, and it flows into the next. Mm-hmm. It flows. The flashbacks flow from scene to scene. Mm-hmm. So it's practically seamless. It's almost if it's not even a flashback practically.
Yeah, and it's super quick. It's super quick.
Right. So they're not very long. They don't drag it out, which is also very good.
If you were to do that, key. I think that's good editing.
So, true. Yeah. That would be good editing.
Yeah, man.
But again, my main issue with this Kenobi series, I was not a fan of Kenobi getting a series when Disney Plus started.
What? Why?
And I'm still very skeptical of it. And the reason is because you're only going to be able to film it from one location.
Oh, Tatooine. Yeah, that's right. We talked about that.
You're not going to get me to believe that Kenobi traveled from here to there when he has to be watching over Luke. I don't see how he can leave. Because he has to ensure Luke's well-being. He has to be sure.
Maybe he gets a babysitter.
A babysitter.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Owen and Beru are there for?
Yeah.
So why would he need a babysitter on top of Owen and Beru?
I don't know. A babysitter for the babysitter? Like,
No.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas. Nothing wrong with brainstorming.
But you have to remember that Obi-Wan's main task is to ensure the well-being of Luke Skywalker. And I don't know how he accomplishes that by not staying close to the family. I mean, there's just no way that he can leave. So we're going to get one entire season of Sand, man. That just bothers me. I mean, Sand's okay, but, every single show, I mean, it's just... I can only get so many Jawas and so many Tusken Raiders before it gets a little monotonous.
Is there a show that's primarily in the desert?
If there is, I guarantee you they go somewhere. Name it, and I guarantee you they're not there permanently.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. It's not really the best thing that I can do right now. Thinking.
Baywatch. Baywatch.
Sand and water. Oh,
Huh?
but they go places. Yeah, they go
Places. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's that. And even if you look at the films that are like set in wartime, in Middle Eastern wartime, yeah, there's sand, but you know what? Occasionally they're on an aircraft carrier, or occasionally they're in a jungle that's part of the desert, or they're, but Tatooine, there are no jungles.
No.
There's just sand and cantinas. That's all there are.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you go to the desert, get drunk.
All we're going to see is sand and cantinas. That's it.
At least in Baywatch, you have babes and water and sand.
At least we know Obi-Wan drank. At least we know that.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, don't tell me.
You know how to get down? Yeah? Obi-Wan got busy? Yeah, man.
Surely you're aware of the film evidence that Obi-Wan took a shot.
Where I mean, he's only been at a bar, in the movies twice?
There's Star Wars movie evidence that he took a shot.
All right. A shot of what? Was it where he was telling...
I don't know what it was, but he took a shot.
Oh, no, but where? What part of the movie, Brian?
Coruscant. He was on Coruscant.
Oh, when he was telling that person to stop smoking?
Yeah.
Death sticks?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he took a shot.
But before they enter, Anakin asks him, "Where are you going?" And he looks at him, "For a drink."
Yeah. It was Romulan ale.
So it's official. It's official. Jedi are a very serious religious group of people, but one thing that isn't against the code is having a drink.
They're Catholics.
You can have a drink if you're Catholic.
Yeah, they're Catholic.
You ever see an Irish priest before? For crying out loud, man.
Yeah. Remember, we both went to Central Catholic.
Yeah. My seventh, eighth grade priest was a Irish priest, and let me tell you, man, that guy will throw him back.
I'm sure he
during
did.
Mass.
During Mass. Now you know what? That's a job I could get into. Right? If I could drink on the job, yeah, I will totally become a priest.
There was some memorable homilies. I'll tell you what, when I was in middle school, memorable homilies. This guy would come out from behind the tabernacle, and he started going into homilies, and forget it. I knew he had a shot at something before he started going into it.
He opens up the book. You know, this guy, this guy, he was the guy. And we all know that this guy, he'd be your guy too. That's just how, that's kind of, I guess, how it would go. Anyways, man, you
want to go out there and you don't want to keep your catechisms. Let me tell you about this guy.
Let me tell you this guy. This guy's my guy. All right.
This guy named Moses.
All right. I'm calling it a night. That's a good way to end the show, is with straight blasphemy. So it's good to be back. We'll be back on Monday next week. We're working on some stuff, you and I, for October, because we all know that's going to be the release of Mandalorian.
Mandalorian 2.
Yeah, it's spooky. It's Spooky Ween. Spooky Ween's coming up in October too.
We need some relief from 2020.
Yeah, we need a little bit of relief.
Something, and Mandalorian 2 is going to give our fix. Cannot wait.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go relieve myself, so we'll end it there. Everyone, please check out Brianna at Bad Customs. The link is below. All right, and she's got great stuff, great trinkets. If you can never find the perfect gift for that one person that always buys everything for themselves, like this guy, Brianna's got great stuff over there. Check out her Facebook page or Instagram, and hey, place an order. Brian, we'll talk next week. All right. You have a good night. Stay safe, everyone. Wear your face mask. Wash your hands. Don't eat chocolate. Oh, no, wait. That's for dogs. Sorry. All right, man. So we're yub-nubbing, right?
We're going to yub-nub out of here.
All right, so we're going to yub-nub, and for some reason I can't find the song. No, I don't know where the Yub Nub song. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Yub Nub out there for the second time.
All right, Yub Nub, everybody. Bye bye. Good night.